Before we start this demonstration, let's get rid of the Radisco database and create a much more generic database that has Radisco Data1 MDF file in the C_SQL folder and the log for Radisco, called Radisco log, in the E_SQL folder. Let's create this database, refresh to find it, get the properties. Now click on the File page and notice the two files you created are present. One is on our virtual C drive and the other is on our virtual E drive. Now pretend you wanted to make an NDF file on the D drive and you forgot. Do you have to drop this database and recreate it? Or can you alter databases by adding files as you go? That's what this lesson is all about. If you look at our database perspective from file groups, you'll notice we have one primary file group, and there's only one file inside that file group, and that's the MDF. Now, what if we wanted a user-defined file group? Let's call it Radisco order hist, and then we're going to put files inside of that file group. Well, first things first, let's go back to our code, and let's run the following T-SQL statement. Alter, database, Radisco, add, file group, and we'll call this Radisco_order hist. And run this. It says completed successfully. Let's look at our properties of our database. Now we see we have a primary file group with one file and an order hist with no files in it. Well, why don't we start making NDF files and adding those files to this file group? Okay. Well, let's continue on down and say alter, database, Radisco, add file, and in the parentheses we'll put all the specifications. What drive letter, what size, everything, right there. But let's come back and decide that later. First, let's say this is going to the file group of Radisco_order hist. Okay, well, let's put the details of the file in these parentheses. Let's say name is equal to Radisco_hist1, and put a comma here. And then the file name will be located in the C:\D_SQL folder, and then backslash, and call it Radisco_hist1.ndf. That's the end of our single quote. Let's run this. There we go. Now, let's go get the properties of the database and check it. Now we have Radisco order hist file group with one file in it. Let's look at the files. This guy, Radisco hist1, is on the D drive, and it's in the file group. Okay, great. What if we wanted to add one more? We wanted order hist2 in the same exact file group. Well, that's actually pretty easy. Let's copy and paste this code below, and let's change this to a 2. Let's change this to a 2. Run this whole thing. It says commands completed successfully. Now we expect our user-defined file group to have 2 files in it. Which 2 files? These 2 order hist files. Both of them are located in the file group called Radisco_order hist, and they're both on the D drive. Lab1.3 Skill Check 1. In our last example, we added 2 secondary data files to our secondary file group, Radisco order hist. Add a third data file to this file group using code. The name should be Radisco hist3, and the file location should be the virtual D drive called Radisco_hist3.ndf. When you're done, your screen should resemble the figure you see here. Skill check 2. After you've finished skill check 1, the Radisco database contains 1 MDF file, 3 NDFs, and 1 LDF. Add another file to the Radisco database. Place this file in the primary file group. Once complete, you should have all the files that you see here. Please make a note that the logical name of this new file will be Radisco_data2. The location should be on the C drive called Radisco_data2.ndf. That does it for Lab 1.3 on altering databases. Next up, we're going to do Lab 2.1, schemas.